What if we've been looking at the Grand Theft Auto series all wrong? Seriously, what if Rockstar never actually created standalone crime simulators, but instead they've been building this massive 25-year interactive documentary about a civilization slowly, agonizingly collapsing in on itself?
When you actually sit down and map this franchise out chronologically, a genuinely chilling pattern emerges. We aren't just visiting different disconnected cities. We're witnessing the literal stages of a dying society. We're watching it step by step, going from a totally rotten foundation all the way to this absurd, spectacle-driven conclusion.
So, here is our timeline of civilizational decline. It's a relentless descent from the neon-lit 1980s in Vice City straight through to the influencer-obsessed 2020s in Linida. And in this explainer, we're going to see how each era strips away the systems meant to hold humanity together piece by piece.
Let's start with Stage 1, the foundation of corruption. Vice City, the 1980s.
Now, Vice City looks incredibly glamorous on the surface, right? But underneath the luxury yachts and those pastel suits, every single institution is already compromised. You've got politicians operating seamlessly alongside massive drug empires. Crime and power aren't just linked here. Corruption isn't the exception, it's the very foundation of this entire society. That brings us to Stage 2, when institutions rot. San Andreas, the 1990s. By this point, that corrupt foundation has really settled in and the rot spreads inward. The game structurally integrates real historical trauma right into its world. The 1990s crack epidemic, that mirrors the Grove Street factional schism. The LAPD Rampart scandal translates directly into the game's CRSH division. And the 1992 LA riots are reflected in the Los Santos riots. The system simply no longer protects its communities, it's actively exploiting them. Next is Stage 3, Death of the Dream. Liberty City, the 2000s.
This is where the illusion finally shatters, under gray skies and towering corporate monoliths. When immigrant Nico Bellic arrives searching for the promise of the American dream, what does he actually find? Just a society locked in a brutal cycle of absolute greed, violence, and betrayal. The dream didn't fail him. The dream was dead long before he even got off the boat.
Moving into Stage 4, corporations replace society. Los Santos, the 2010s. By the 2010s, the rot is paved over with this high-definition gloss. Billionaires and tech monopolies like Live Invader just dominate everything. Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser explicitly described this era as the end point of the American dream. Ordinary people, they're now just background characters, completely overshadowed by secret government agencies and absolute corporate impunity. And at the core of all this hyperconsumerism is the undeniable omnipresence of commercialized violence. Look at the sheer density of gun stores, the constant acquisition of new products, from high-end real estate down to military-grade weaponry, is inescapable. Violence isn't some anomaly anymore. It's become a highly profitable pillar of everyday consumer culture. Which leads perfectly into Stage 5, the normalization of chaos. GTA Online. This is where our deteriorating world pushes straight into utter absurdity. Traditional laws just vanish. You have private citizens controlling flying vehicles, submarines, and orbital military hardware. Massive criminal empires are operating completely out in the open alongside massive economic inflation. Extreme, world-ending chaos is no longer shocking to anyone living there. It's just Tuesday. And finally, the final stage, the age of spectacle. Leonida, the 2020s. The darkest part? The ultimate collapse doesn't arrive with some dramatic war. It arrives with a live stream. Social media entirely dominates reality now. Everyone is performing, and everyone is constantly watching. Literally nobody is paying attention to the actual systemic collapse happening all around them, because they are paralyzed by the digital spectacle right on their screens. Looking back at this entire 25-year timeline, a really profound paradox is revealed. Across the decades, the cities absolutely got richer, the skyscrapers grew taller, and the technology improved massively. But humanity? Humanity regressed. They lost their community, they lost their safety, and ultimately, they lost their grip on reality. So as we watch this society implode while everyone is glued to their distractions, it leaves us with one incredibly haunting question. When you played through all these decades, were you ever really building a criminal empire?
Or were you just surviving a collapse?